The Republic of Eric by Ryan King.
Okay, can I have you all standing just to the right of the graves?
On Mum's side?
On your dad's side. Your right, my left.
Right.
I'll pan across the rest of the garden, then onto the graves, then onto the three of you for the eulogy. Does that sound all right?
Any particular order?
Don't know. Maybe the order you're speaking?
Yeah, let's do that.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Okay. Action.
King Eric was a remarkable man. 45 years ago, he founded this great nation, and he has seen it through 45 years of prosperity. While other nations have fallen victims to war, famine, and austerity, the Republic of Eric has thrived under his guidance. It has become a utopia, a place of peace that is an example to the rest of the world, a place that asks questions of other nations, a place that I am proud to live in.
King Eric created 4 fundamental principles to guide our nation: personal freedom, artistic expression, equality, and landscape gardening. By following these principles, Eric was able to fight off an attempted land grab, maintain the integrity of our population, and support the nation for all these years. While he may no longer be with us, and things may change, his principles will be with us forever. Eric may be gone, but his republic will never die.
Our dad loved his country, despite its size. He loved his wife. He loved his gardening. I'm sure being buried in his own garden next to his wife is exactly what he would have wanted.
Okay, what now?
The national anthem. Let me just find it on my phone.
All right, I think I'll do a wide shot of the whole scene.
I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Should we get her back?
I think she just needs some space.
She's not used to the public eye.
Okay. Should we continue? It would be bad for continuity if she just disappeared.
I don't think she's coming back.
Okay. In that case, let's close up on the grave with your legs visible to the side.
Fine.
Okay. Action. Right, that's everything. I'll edit that together by the end of the week, then send you my invoice.
Sure.
I'll talk to you later then.
I was thinking, for the video, we should make it the homepage on the website for a few weeks. This is bigger than a blog post, I think.
Yeah, sure.
I'll leave you to it. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Sure. Sorry.
No, Liam, I'm sorry for snapping. It's okay. I mean, I'm not okay, but, you know.
Yeah. It was a good send-off, though.
He'd have liked it, yeah. I'm sorry for leaving. I just couldn't...
It's fine, Willa. You've always needed distance.
Sure. Thanks for understanding. This place hasn't changed much, has it?
Why would it?
I don't know. It's been a long time since I was last here.
You good?
Good. Yeah. You?
Yeah.
We need to have a meeting.
Now?
Well, not now, but we need to sort things out.
Technically, we should have had a meeting as soon as he died, according to the Constitution.
We could do it now, I suppose.
Really?
We'll do it later.
No, I've got a couple of things I'd like to say.
Really?
Yeah, just get started.
Right. I'm now calling to order a meeting of the King's Court of... the Queen's Court of... the Royal Court of the Republic of Eric. Willa, would you mind taking minutes?
What do you do when I'm not here?
Erica normally does them.
Normally, yes, but normally Dad is the one in charge.
Do you think you're in charge?
This is what we need to discuss.
You do, don't you?
Hang on, we haven't started yet. Willa, can you take the minutes?
Could you just record it on your phone and you can figure it out later?
Fine. I'm now calling to order a meeting of the Royal Court of the Republic of Eric. First things first, the matter of who's in charge.
Hang on. All meetings must begin with a finance report, constitutionally.
Have you done one?
Well, no. We've just decided to have a meeting. I haven't done a finance report.
Should we skip it then?
Constitutionally, we have to do one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'll read out the one from last time.
Fine. So, how are things in the colonies?
What? Oh, my house. Fine. We're thinking of moving to a bigger place, though, so the kids don't have to share a room.
We've got plenty of room here, you know.
I know.
Children are the future, after all.
They're also the present.
Okay. Here we go. In the month of June, we have sold a total of 63 stamp collections, 42 coin collections, 15 miniature flags, 2 full-sized flags, 31 citizenships without passports, 58 citizenships with passports, and 9 lords and ladyships. On average, that is down 5% on last year. As usual, that is not quite enough to cover our expenses for the month, but the large takings from the Christmas period will be able to sustain us through to the end of the year.
How big is the House of Lords now?
As of last month, we have 512 lords and ladies.
Wow. How many of those do you think you could fit?
I'm sure if we squeezed them in.
On to the matter at hand.
Yes. Who is in charge? Do you think it's you?
Well, we can't both be in charge. The entire population would be monarchs.
And we'd be called King and Queen. Everyone would think we were married.
Agreed.
So there should only be one. And I am his rightful heir.
Well, that's the thing.
What does the Constitution say?
Well,
Or what does it say?
it says once the ruler of the Republic is deceased, the Republic is left to the heir of the ruler.
There you go.
And since I am his heir, it should be me.
Standard convention is the heir is the oldest male child.
It doesn't specify that it uses standard convention.
You don't have to specify when something is standard. That's what standard means.
One of the founding principles is equality, so I'd imagine gender is no factor in lineage. I'm the oldest, so I'm his heir.
Not specified in the Constitution, though.
It's kind of obvious he wanted it to be me.
Why? He didn't tell either of us.
I'm named after him.
Erica. Eric, not Eric.
Oh, come on.
Well, he named you before he knew you.
What's that supposed to mean?
One of us was trusted with the finances, and the other was trusted with taking minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does knowing how to do spreadsheets give you the right to rule a nation?
No, being the eldest male child does.
The UK royal family does it by firstborn now. No gender involved.
We're not in the UK, though, are we?
Aren't you?
In it, as in surrounded by it, but we're not part of it.
That's not what the law says.
It's what our law says.
By UK law, if you don't leave a will and have no spouse, everything is split evenly between the kids. Evenly.
According to the Constitution...
That is not a substitute for a will. The UK does not recognise you as a country. What you are is a business.
That's just a shell company to make trade easier.
A business that sells collectible crap to morons.
We don't... What's your point?
My point is our father had 2 major assets. The business and the house. Both of which we now own a third of each. I don't care about the business. You can have my share. But the house, I want the money.
You would sell the house? That's the entirety of the nation's land.
Either that or you buy my share.
We can't afford that.
Maybe if either of you had an actual job, you could. I'm sure with your 2/3 of the money you could still afford a nice place.
You know it wouldn't be the same.
Hang on. You wanted a bigger house. That's what this is all about. You'd destroy Dad's legacy for a slightly bigger house.
There's plenty of room here.
That's what I said.
I don't care if I ruin his legacy. He ruined my childhood.
But what about...
That is my position. I'll be contacting an estate agent to value the property. I suggest you do the same to make sure the price is fair.
Nothing about this is fair.
You're right.
Wait. What do we do? What?
You asked me what to do. You see me as the leader.
For God's sake. First of all, good leaders ask others for advice all the time, which is something you'd know if you were a good leader. Second, this is a time to come together in a unified direction.
Unified behind you.
This is serious.
Fine. As it happens, I do have an idea I think might work.
Go on.
Morning.
Morning.
Where's the kettle?
Oh, the kettle. I locked it in my room.
Sorry?
I locked the kettle in my room.
Why?
Leverage.
What are you on about?
To stop you in your plan.
That's not a leverage. I have the password to the website, our only source of income.
Can't make a cup of tea with a password though, can you?
Fine. I'll just go out and buy my own kettle. Which could be a complete waste of money, and wasting money is the last thing we want to be doing right now.
You wouldn't.
Oh, you think I won't?
You haven't crossed the border in months.
I can get it online.
Could we just talk about it some more?
Fine. Let's talk. Perhaps over a cup of tea?
No chance.
Fine. Doesn't matter anyway. I've already called the reporter.
Without consulting me.
Actually, I did consult you. You just disagreed. I am in charge after all.
When they show up, I'm going to make sure they know I don't agree.
I thought you wanted a unified direction.
Did you tell them what it is you're announcing?
Not yet.
Then announce something else.
Like what?
Our joint leadership.
Really?
Why not?
The Constitution says heir. Singular.
It also says the person in power can do whatever they like, which means whichever one of us is in charge can choose to share the power.
We still won't be able to decide on anything, though. So, what would it change?
If it changes nothing, we may as well do it then.
No.
Fine then, but we're not telling them we're taking on new citizens because we're not.
But what else do you suggest?
We could tell them about Willa?
No.
Why not? The third born is trying to tear our nation apart. That's a story. People might start donating money so we can buy her share.
People might start giving her abuse.
Good. I might get her to back off.
I don't want to make her out to be the bad guy.
She is the bad guy. She's going to destroy us.
If you don't let anyone else in, you'll be the one who destroys us.
You know I would never do that. I believe in the Republic. You're the one who wants to change everything.
I know you don't want to destroy it. I know you would never do that. Deliberately.
Deliberately?
This isn't going away. We need the money, and selling fake citizenships isn't going to cover it. We need real income and real people here. Otherwise, the Republic dies with us.
We can convince her to back down. I'm sure we can.
Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But what about the future? Face it, Erica. We need new citizens at some point.
Not now.
It would be nice to have someone else to talk to.
It'd feel like they're replacing Dad. I know, it sounds stupid. If anything, we're replacing Dad, and they're replacing us, but it would still feel like it.
Okay. If you need more time, that's fine. You can wait. I just feel if there was someone else here, the place wouldn't feel so empty, you know? Like a voice is missing from every conversation. I don't want it to just be me and you. No offense.
No offense. What exactly is wrong with me?
You know what I mean?
I know.
I'll cancel the journalist.
Thank you. I reckon we can convince Willa.
There's no harm in trying, I suppose. Can I use the kettle now, please?
Fine.
It's open.
Hi, Liam.
Oh, hey, this must be the estate agent. Would you like a cup of tea? We grow our own.
I'm fine, thanks.
Well, if you need anything, let me know. Willa, can we talk?
I really need to get to work.
Feel free to wander. If I were you, I'd leave Erica's room till last. That's the first door you come to upstairs.
As you wish.
Does this plant look right to you?
Sorry?
I don't know. I can tell that it's changed, but I can't quite remember what it's supposed to look like. Maybe I'm not watering it enough.
I think you're overwatering it.
Really?
Yeah, it's wilting, but it's not dry. Too much water in the soil means there isn't enough space for the air.
Oh, right. Right. Didn't know you knew about this stuff.
Trial and error. I've killed enough houseplants in my time.
Right. Could you maybe have a look at the stuff outside? Don't really know what I'm doing. Willa?
Why are you so calm?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Why aren't you angry about the estate agent?
Because I know how to fix everything.
You won't change my mind.
Oh, I know that. No. What we're going to do is take out a mortgage for the third of the property. Then we audition for new citizens. Not like the citizenships we sell online, actual permanent citizens who live here. And we charge them rent until we've paid off the mortgage. Then they get to live here for free. They'd have to do jobs that can be done here, though, over the internet. Can't have most of our population gone for 8 hours a day.
Sounds like a plan.
There is one problem, though.
Hmm?
Erica hates the idea.
Oh.
She wants to keep things in the family. No new citizens, no mortgage, which is crazy. Most countries have more than one family in them. Erica thinks she can convince you to change your mind. And when she realises she can't, she'd rather lose the house than have foreign investors owning it.
What are you getting at?
You own 1/3 of the business, right? And you don't want it, like at all, so perhaps, instead of splitting it between me and Erica, you could just give it all to me. Or maybe not all of it, just most of it. Enough to make me the decision maker, so I can start my plan. Which benefits you. I transfer my share of the house to the business, and the business will have the mortgage for your share too. Erica could have 1/3 of the business and 1/3 of the house, so whatever happens, I can outvote her. If Erica was in charge, she would fight you for as long as possible. Me, I'd give you the money straight away.
I don't want to get involved with your power struggles.
You'd get what you want.
How about this? I hold on to my third of the business. Together, the two of us enact your plan. Then once the mortgage is paid off, I split my share between you equally. I get what I want, but I don't have to pick a side.
Sure. Can't think of a reason why that wouldn't work.
Liam?
Don't tell her now, though. I'll break it to her gently later.
Why is there an estate agent trying to get into my room?
Do you really need me to answer that question?
You could have at least...
Let's not do this now, all right? Everybody is still thinking. Nothing is set in stone yet. And knowing the value of the property would help us all make the decision. Okay?
Could one of you please let me into the final room?
No.
Anyone?
She has the only key.
Not to worry. Should be able to approximate the size based on the rooms around it. There is the matter of... Are people buried in the back garden?
Oh, yeah. It's what they wanted.
When I give my valuation, should I do it as if they are still there or not? That can bring down the value.
Shall we say without?
They're staying.
Yeah, but we'd move them if we actually tried to sell the place.
But we never will.
If you want a fair price, I can give you the valuation with and without. Then look into the cost of moving the then subtract that cost from the valuation without the... and see which is highest.
That sounds fair.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Excellent. I'll be in touch. Have a nice day.
You too.
I'd better head off, actually. Enjoy your gardening.
Yeah. Right.
That's a nice robe you're wearing.
It's ceremonial. My dad used to wear it for special occasions.
Do I need to bow or anything?
Oh, no. Please, take a seat.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Republic of Eric. You are very lucky to have been granted an audience with me, King Liam I, son of Eric, the founder.
It's an honour.
Should I start with my announcement?
Can we do background first, so the readers can understand the announcement more?
Fine by me. It's a very interesting story.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Mind if I record?
Go ahead.
So, this is the Republic of Eric, then?
Oh, yes.
And you're the king?
That is correct.
How can a republic have a king? Republics are where the people rule, with elected representatives.
Just sounds good. The Republic of Eric. It rolls off the tongue.
But doesn't actually describe what you are.
Where are you from?
Exeter.
The country.
England.
The real country.
Oh, the UK.
The United Kingdom.
Ah. Well, technically we are a kingdom. We do have a monarch, a queen, not a king. But you still call it a kingdom, I think.
But are you united?
Yeah, fair point. Fair point. How did this all start? You said your dad founded this... what should I call it?
Country. We are a country like any other, with our own laws, our own constitution.
And what makes you a country?
Isn't that the question?
Yes, it is.
According to the Montevideo Convention of 1939, to qualify as a country, you must have 4 things. 1, a permanent location, that's the house and the garden. 2, a permanent population, me and my sister are always here. She's out on trade talks at the moment, but she's here most of the time. 3, a form of leadership, we have a king. 4, the ability to deal with other nations' governments. We have an email address.
And do you? Deal with other nations' governments?
None of them recognise us, unfortunately, but that isn't the point. The point is they have the ability to deal with us should they want to, which means we're a real country.
But no one recognises you.
No government recognises us, except our own, of course. That doesn't really matter. What matters is what we say we are.
The UK would say that this is their land.
So?
Do you pay tax to the UK?
No. No tax.
No tax? How does that work?
We do pay a certain percentage of our income to the UK as what we call foreign aid.
Ah, do they call it foreign aid?
They can call it what they like. They call it tax, but it's foreign aid. They are running at a deficit, after all. We do what we can to help them out, given how prosperous our nation has been.
And how prosperous has your nation been? What's your chief form of income?
Mostly collectibles, memorabilia, commemorative stamps, coins, flags, also citizenships and lordships.
So your country makes most of its money by being a country?
Money isn't everything.
What about resources? I'd imagine you must be quite dependent on the UK.
No country can be completely self-sufficient. We do rely a lot on the UK, but we have solar panels, so we have some of our own energy at least. We grow a lot of our own vegetables. Gardening is one of the founding principles of this nation. And my father believed that the primary purpose of a garden should be to provide.
Whoa, hang on. Gardening is a founding principle.
That's how it all started. Eric, the founder, was very passionate about gardening. His garden was his pride and joy, but one day the council tried to take half of it with a compulsory purchase order. part of a property development scheme that was ran by a friend of the councillor. Governments can just do that. Force you to sell your lands at a rate that they get to dictate. Dad wasn't having any of it, so he founded the Republic of Eric to defend his garden. He claimed the property as a nation that the UK had no rights over. He had to quit his job as a postman so that he could be in the house permanently and lived off his savings. Mum would do the shopping as little as possible. He designed a flag and started wearing this ceremonial robe. Mum wrote a national anthem. She played the piano. Doesn't have any words because Dad doesn't like singing. Anyway, there was a lot of public support once the media got wind. Dad was going to lie down in the garden if they ever tried to tear it down. There was a legal battle, which was never resolved because the property developer decided not to go through with it. They claim it was due to unforeseen economic factors. But I think they were scared of us.
When was this, by the way?
1980.
1980. Wasn't there a recession in 1980?
Wouldn't know. We've never had a recession here. Anyway, because of the fight with the council, we had a lot of media attention. Dad was already selling citizenships and stamps to pay for his legal fees. So he just kept doing that. The nation prospered.
This was before you were born, right?
Yeah, the Republic was already pretty well established by the time I came around.
Interesting. What about the other, the principles of the nation?
The 4 principles. One for each of the leaves on the flag.
Yes, I meant to ask you about the flag. What does it all mean?
The red stripe in the middle represents Dad, and the orange ones on the side represents Mum. The 4-leaved clover in the centre is because we've always had them in the garden. My dad liked them. He thought it was funny that they were a symbol of luck and rarity because he just bought a load of them from a garden centre and just would replant them every year.
Is that a metaphor for something?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Hard work is more powerful than luck or something? Something about what it means to be a country.
I think he just found it funny. Anyway, the 4 leaves represent the 4 principles: gardening, personal freedom, artistic expression, and hope.
The personal freedom is about the council trying to take his land, I assume.
Yes, and the gardening.
What about the others?
He enjoyed art, and hope is always a generally good thing to have. I think he struggled to fill all the leaves, to be honest.
Okay, I think we have enough background, unless there's anything else.
I could explain all the designs on the coins and stamps, but that's all on the website. Make sure to link it in the article.
Will do. Tell me about this announcement.
We need new citizens, basically. My sister and I live here, and that's it. For the Republic to have a future, we need new blood.
You're looking for someone to have children with?
Oh, God, no! No! Just maybe a few people who can continue our legacy.
And they get to live off the state's income?
Not quite. We'd charge new citizens rent for the first few years, and then they can live here rent-free for the rest of their lives. They'd need a job that they can do without leaving the house. But after a few years, they won't have to work again. We want artists, people who will make things with their free time, and we want a gardener. Dad used to keep the gardens in check, and now we're having to do it. And we're not very good.
He didn't teach you?
He tried, but it's never clicked.
But it's part of your culture.
I know. We're trying. We're doing the upkeep, at least.
Anything else you're looking for?
Someone who's nice. No?
Yeah, I'll put that in. Is that all?
I think so.
Then thank you very much. I'm sure our readers will enjoy the story.
Can you give me a hand with these bags?
Great. Can you take the back door out? Just through there, then turn left and go round. Hurry.
I've left them in the hall. Why are you wearing Dad's robe?
Just trying it on for size. Try it yourself.
You're ready to work as a team.
You could say that.
It's a bit big on me. Oh, I invited Willa to dinner, by the way. I think I might be able to convince her. I've got a secret weapon.
What's that?
Courgettes. Here we are. Ratatouille. Courgettes straight from the garden. That's why I wanted you here. This is the last of Dad's produce.
Except for us. It's nice.
Thanks.
You should come round to mine sometime. My husband makes a nice roast dinner.
I'd love to, but we can't leave the country unoccupied.
One at a time, maybe?
Or he could make it here.
So what are you going to plant next?
We don't know yet.
We'll figure it out. I've just started reading, what's it called? The Penguin Basic Book of Gardening? No, the Penguin Book of Basic Gardening.
I think Dad would always plant radishes after the courgettes were done.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we'd stop having ratatouille and suddenly radishes would appear in the potato salad.
Oh yeah, that's right. And the potatoes would be all year round.
Basically.
Oh, do you remember that time that Mum made, what's it called? It was like a salad with egg and radish in it.
It was just called egg and radish salad, I think.
Yeah, it was terrible.
That was when we had the chickens.
Oh yes, the chickens.
So many omelettes.
Remember when they got out and Dad was chasing them around the garden, ruining all the flowers?
Oh yeah. What happened to them?
We ate them, I think. Dad pretended he sent them back to a farm. I found them in the freezer.
I never knew that.
Really? He gave away 2 chickens, and the next week we ate a lot of chicken. Did you not put them together?
I feel like I would have done.
He left a long gap between to throw us off.
That makes more sense.
None of us were particularly bright, though. What with the homeschooling?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, we weren't exactly knowledgeable about the stuff they insist on teaching in schools, but being bright is different.
True, but there isn't much point in being bright without knowledge.
We still figured out about the chickens, though, didn't we?
It doesn't take a genius to put 2 and 2 together when it's 2 missing chickens and 2 dead chickens in the freezer. Most people wouldn't even need the freezer clue to figure that one out.
We were kids.
Stupid kids.
What was that?
Oh no.
What was that?
It's not a secret. We were very badly homeschooled.
Why? Because we didn't spend 7 hours a day being bombarded with a government-mandated curriculum that fills your head with useless knowledge?
And what did we do instead, huh? Learn useful life skills? This isn't really a life. This isn't really anything.
This is not nothing.
It is. I got myself into university, got a job, started a family.
You doing something else doesn't make this nothing.
What is it then?
We ask questions about what it means to be a nation.
A question with a very obvious answer. Nation states are social constructs based on geography and shared goals in the past, which may no longer exist, but the state survives because they're so entrenched in bureaucracy that we can't get rid of them even when the shared goals are gone. There you go. You've been asking this question for 45 years and it has a 1-sentence answer. You're not saying anything new. You're not changing anyone's minds. You're not really doing anything at all. It's just a theatrical performance with no real point to it. And this has consumed your entire lives. At Dad's funeral, you didn't even talk about him as a dad, only as a king. But he was a person. A very, very strange person who turned his whole life into a joke as well as his family's. And he enjoyed it.
Did you ever consider the possibility that we enjoy it too? That we're in on the joke?
You haven't exactly explored any other options.
So? I like this life. Just because you didn't doesn't make it not a life. Sure, most people only know about our country because they find it funny, but then some people do end up thinking about things. Maybe they all come to the same conclusion that they would have done on their own, but they wouldn't have thought about it at all otherwise. I don't think the answer is as concrete as you make it out. But even if it is, some people just like to have a passport from a made-up country to remind them that their real one is just as imaginary.
You admitted it. You admitted it's a made-up country.
All countries are made up. That's kind of the point. You must know why we invited you here. I just wanted to try one more time to convince you to let us have the house. You may not believe in this place, but Dad did. And you know that he would have wanted it to continue as it is.
No, Erica, I deserve reparations for my childhood. I don't care what he would have wanted. I'm taking my 3rd. Anyway, I already ironed this out with Liam.
What?
He was supposed to tell you, but he's going to mortgage my 1/3 of the house.
How? I won't let him.
The business can. And together we have a majority.
Liam,
Look, I was gonna tell you.
there's no way I'm letting that happen.
It's out of your hands.
I can't believe you.
It's the only way.
That's true. If you don't buy my share off me, I can force you to sell the house, and that's the last thing I want to happen.
If it's the last thing you want, then don't do it.
It's the only way we can still exist. I've already spoken to a journalist.
You lying bastard!
I did what I had to do. Blame Dad for not leaving a will.
Fuck you.
It had to be done.
Fuck off.
I'll get it.
I'm sorry.
I'm not talking to you.
Please, take a seat.
Who is this?
She's here about citizenship.
Oh, great. You just let anyone show up whenever they like for an interview.
They were supposed to apply by email.
I'm sorry to disturb you, but I had nowhere else to go. I arrived today.
You arrived just now.
Well, just now is still today. What I mean is, I arrived in the United Kingdom today, this morning. We almost capsized twice crossing the channel, but we made it. I've been trying to get here for so long, but I had no idea what to do when I arrived, so I googled places to stay and found you.
She's an asylum seeker.
Yes, I should have led with that, shouldn't I?
I would have done.
I seek asylum in your country. Mine is ravaged by war, and yours is... well, it's a lovely home.
What do you think?
No, it'd be a bureaucratic nightmare. The UK would want her to register there too.
I can do that.
Why didn't you stop at France? France isn't at war.
I can speak English, I can't speak French. This is what happens when you make your language the international standard. I suppose English isn't your language technically, but you know what I mean.
I think this could be good for us.
How?
Someone new to talk to. If we ever disagree, we've got someone to cast the deciding vote.
It's not going to stop Willa, is it?
Sorry, but no.
See? Doesn't solve the money problems. You wanted someone who can work online.
I can do that. I used to be a graphic designer. I could go freelance.
Legally, you aren't allowed to work until asylum is granted.
I thought that was UK law. I'm not in the UK.
The UK beg to differ, I'm afraid.
If it's only online, who knows where she is?
That. I don't know. That might work.
It's worth a try. I think we should go for it.
And so do I. So together, that's a 2/3 majority.
Forget about that. We only do it if we all agree. Erica, this has to be unanimous. What do you want to do?
Have you just been eating ratatouille?
Yeah. Made with courgettes Dad grew himself.
Nice. Nice. How big did he get them? Mine were always smaller than the ones in the supermarket. I used to have an allotment back in...
She can stay.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I'm very grateful. I shall inspect the garden tomorrow when there is daylight.
But you'll have to apply for asylum in the UK, too.
I expected that.
Maybe they'll put you on a commemorative coin.
That reminds me, we need to change the face on the coin.
Why?
When the king dies, you change the faces on the money. It's what most countries do.
Since when have you cared what most countries do?
So, just keep Dad on the coins.
Why not?
It'd look like he's still in charge.
Maybe he is.
He's dead.
And?
The Constitution says that...
The Constitution says a leader can do whatever they want. You can pass your leadership on to a dead person.
It's not an awful idea.
Suppose not.
Have I just moved to a country ruled by a ghost?
Aren't all countries ruled by ghosts? In a way.
We have to formalise this.
We don't know who's in charge, so we all have to do it.
All right.
If I am queen, I pass on my title to the ghost of Eric Osborne for him to carry for the rest of time.
If I am king, I pass on my title to the ghost of Eric Osborne for him to carry for the rest of time. Willa?
Me?
Yes?
Yes.
If I'm queen, I pass on my title to the ghost of Eric Osborne for him to carry for the rest of time.
If I'm queen, I pass my title to the ghost of Eric Osborne for him to carry for the rest of time.
This has been The Republic of Eric, written and directed by Ryan King, produced by Megan Cooper, assistant director Toby Saunders, sound editing and Foley by Ryan King, starring Aimee Dickinson as Erica, Cameron Ashplant as Liam, Naomi Cook as Willa, and Eleanor Storey as Amira, journalist, estate agent, and videographer. Additional sound effects and piano obtained from freesound.org, all under the Creative Commons Zero license. Thank you for listening.